And we are here on the Your Welcome stream. Thanks everybody so much for tuning in with your hosts Laz and Cuppa Frag. A little bit something different than normal. Hey, Cuppa? Cuppa's muted. Oh no, feels bad. Cuppa's muted. Oh no. Oh
Man,
no. Not like
that's
this.
not the way to start a casual stream. That's too casual. So casual, my mic was turned off. Just don't want you to hear any of that pre-game banter. But let's get down to business, shall we? This is going to be a very unique event, and I'm proper excited for this one. It's Trade Like Pro's own top aimer. NA. And it's the first of its kind of this death match kind of format. And let's see who's going to go for broke here. $600 is the prize pool. So for a deathmatch format, it's actually a pretty decent prize pool. I think it's 300 for first, 200 for second, and $100 for that third place. And while you're just sort of gathering yourself and just tuning to the stream, let's give a little breakdown of the format, shall we? Like 64 players, and my, they've got quite a journey ahead of them on this Wednesday.
Yeah, they definitely do. So I mean, we're talking a little bit about this format and a little cool opportunity here from a lot of our sponsors. So definitely want to give a big shout out, of course, to TLP, Community Gaming, Aftermath Esports, and of course, Zero Marksman as well. So I mean, this is a little bit different. It's a death match. It's just not your traditional little 5v5. Here's a normal game. This is actually just free for all death match. Everybody's going for it, full tilt. And I think that's what makes it kind of exciting. I mean, this is, we haven't really seen a lot of opportunities or a lot of things like this. So now we get a bunch of players that are in this group that we got some names that we've seen, but it is the typical standard of the score, which is just the 30, which then advances the two top players, which moves through later in the stages as well in the tournament.
Yes, let's hope all the players, just like my Cloud9 jersey, if you can see here, go on, representing NA. Thought it was topical, thought it was an occasion to wear it. Indeed, there's no other players to blame, is there? There's no other players to blame. You talk about full tilt. It's, hey, I missed that shot. It's because of my U-tilt. No, it's not because of U-tilt. It's because you missed the shot. So that kind of mentality, you've really got to kind of bring yourself up from those low moments. And that is deathmatch in a nutshell, isn't it, lads? I know I've seen commonly from your past history of games, all the death matches that you're cracking on with. You're no stranger to deathmatch. What would you say is like the number one thing that a gamer should be doing in deathmatch to get that victory? Like, what's one thing that separates those top deathmatch players from the lower deathmatch?
I think, the piece that makes it kind of, in my opinion, like, I mean, if you're an opper, like, I don't think this is going to be a really good opportunity because the whole point of this is that you want to win it, right? Like when you're in a deathmatch, you're in it just for practicing. You're in it just to get warm. And in this case, you're going in for blood. You're just looking for everybody possible. So you're trying to make sure that you can find people. So, I mean, really, we're probably going to see a ton of Vandals, probably a lot of Phantoms. I think this is going to be a good debut of that argument of which one's better. I know personally what I would pick personally, but I mean, I'm kind of curious what we're going to see across the many groups here today.
You're a Vandal boy, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Vandal Club all day, baby. We never let it go.
Phantoms? I always gave you hate for that. I was like, I don't know if Vandal is the way, but I've recently switched to Vandal, and it's packs so much more of a punch for that one-tap accuracy, for that amazing damage. The Phantom, it's a bit less forgiving when you've got no abilities to kind of partner and pair with that. So, yeah, let's see what is the champion of the Vandal or the Phantom, and get your votes in, please. Thank you in the chat. Let us know what you think. Phantom Vandal Club, what is your membership subscription going to be going towards, I wonder?
Yeah, so I mean, really, like we were talking about, this is kind of the moment where you're going in for blood, you're looking for everything possible, and we were talking about different maps. So there is a bit of format to this. I mean, it's pretty much there is no rules, but there is a couple rules, of course, and it is going to be on Haven to start things off. So with that, we do have quite a few of the players. We're just waiting, I think, for one more, and then that way we can get all the action started. We can see how fun this will be to spectate a death match, of course, which is going to be always an interesting time for production, aka moi.
It is going to be quite spicy, so do bear with this. But we're both talking about our stream, and let's bring it on stream as well. This is a really, really exciting tournament to be happening. And if you're in the stands, if you will, and being like, man, I want to get in on this, definitely keep tuned to TLP. It's a brainchild. We're just speaking with Anakin about this, and plenty more of these to come. If it's popular, and if it's something that you're like watching, and maybe you want to get in for the next one. 64 players, as we mentioned. There's going to be 8 groups with the maps that we're talking there, Les. What's it looking like for the kind of maps for the group stages at least?
Yeah, so it looks like we, kind of do start things off where we're going to play it on Haven, and then eventually, I think it does advance itself eventually to Icebox, and then you do get a little bit of a taste of everything. So I think it goes Haven, Icebox, which then goes to Split, and then eventually going to Ascent, and then kind of like another full rotation with Bind and everything like that. So definitely makes it pretty fun, pretty spicy. I mean, a map like Haven, probably one of the best DM maps, I would say, just because you're not.
Oh yeah.
You got multiple angles, lots of room to move. In my opinion, probably the better one. I feel like whenever I DM, Icebox, I feel like I'm always having a bad time. So I feel like it's never good. I feel like I just, yeah, no. And I mean, the one thing I noticed, and I was really scared about tweeting this, is that, as a boomer, I mean, this is going to make me feel so bad and so old that these guys are probably just going to be locking heads like no tomorrow. Meanwhile, I'm struggling to, win a DM at all.
Will be put back into our armchairs, the spectator of this one, and buckle up for quite the ride. And yeah, this is really the age of an aimer of that generation. It's just come into play now. Maybe you didn't experience that kind of older classic FPS, and this is your time to shine and get your hands, or maybe $300 if you're in the mix for this one. You got players like Jerk, you got players like Cheat Code, very well known within that sort of NA, that tier 2 and beyond scene as well. We've got Benji, we were just talking about, a former TLP player that's within the realm. You've got existing TLP players from their roster. Talking of TLP, just to give you a bit of history of kind of what you're watching and who is kind of putting this on with the organization of Trainlight Pro. They did get through to the finals, just gone in the TGS Open Series. That was last weekend that I got the courtesy of casting. Absolute Esports did take them out, but I'm bring us an example. There is a lot of aim game at TLP, and to see them inviting the community to come in here we go. What agents, lads? It doesn't even matter. Maybe for looks, maybe for voice lines, but when it comes down to the gameplay, it's all raw aim, baby. And who's it going to be? Who's your money on for this one?
It's a hard one. Like, like you said, agents obviously don't matter in a deathmatch. So anybody that's not aware, this is literally just all frag ability. This has nothing to do with strats. This has nothing to do with abilities, of course. So really, at this point, doesn't matter. Honestly, I think Loki, or I would even say Benji, are probably my top picks personally. I definitely know, Zero Marksman, they've definitely done some big things as well, and Benji's been around for quite some time. So I'm putting a little prediction out there. I'm going to say these two probably my top picks, I think, right now. But, I'm happy to get the Caster's Curse and get proven wrong here.
Oh, man, the Caster's Curse. Does it apply here without abilities? I don't know. We'll soon find out. Thank you so much for joining us for the TLP Top Aim at NA. We're getting things underway, and let's see who is going to get this done. The warp is just starting. I'm getting a bit overzealous, can you tell? And away we go now.
Actually, Benji not already finding it, so a little bit different. I mean, now this, with this less players in the deathmatch, it definitely makes it a little bit more interesting. The timing, all the sound, you're trying to be precise. You're trying to, just use all the sound cues, just being very sneaky little rat. And even look at this, Karmi able to get another frag. So that is a double, even though it does say a single, but already looking pretty good here for Karmi. Proving me wrong here from Aftermath.
Definitely so, flying away with those 3 frags, but not too far away from many other frags. And we're going to see this quite concrete in that deathmatch format. Just as you soon start to get ahead, you're going to be left out by players that start to get that pop off. And as you'll see, Loki's Loki popping off it.
Loki just, popping up some frags. That's 1-2. Nice little double. Maybe a triple, maybe. Oh, yeah, we'll make that happen. Goes for the quad. That's looking pretty good already. Now looking for an ace. An ace in a deathmatch. It's been achieved. Coming in big. That's a pentakill. Obviously the same thing. But either way, still comes in. Looks for another. Loki making up some big numbers. I should have predicted this guy to win here, Kappa.
Man, your money could have been incorrectly placed, but time shall tell. The night is still young. We are going to have 12 frags here. This is starting to be a bit of a roll. The first player's in the double figures and continuing. 13 unlucky for some, but not unlucky at all. He's off to the races.
Yeah, he's on top of the score, so you can see in the very top piece, that's where, the number right beside the agent is how many frags they do have. So right now, Loki is pretty much over double half the players in the server, or almost just about double, sorry, math is hard. But either way, it's looking really good. Loki just keeps finding these good positions, so definitely want to watch Loki just lighting things up. Finally gets taken down after a big mayhem of frags. And even now, we can see Crazy Bad Let's have the Vandal. That's going to be the glitch pop, and a lot of jets flying around the board here.
There definitely are. 15 frags for Loki. He's not giving up on this one, and not one player on the server. That's got double figures. Speaking of that, we are going to have Olka coming on with a couple of frags, and off we go. Starting to thin that gap a little bit. Loki starting to simmer down after that pop-off initially.
This is a lot of play that's happening in Garage so far. Like we can see, that's pretty much the main area. Druid just going to be creeping on through, finds Benji, easy little pickup. So for anybody that doesn't know, in the deathmatch, you can obviously pick up ammo. You get ammo automatically when you get the frag, and then you can pick up the health packs as well if you can get there in time. That's where the little plus sign is. So right now, looking pretty good. We still have Loki on the top, as we can see, right behind Druid with 12. So it's already tied here for 2 players.
And this is where you can start to get a bit more nerves, a bit of anxiety. You hit that 50% mark, you're like, okay, I've got a bit of a feeling of these players here. It is deathmatch, and it's a different mentality. You've got a lot more players' playstyle to consider. There's no util, but pure frag potential, yeah. But, oh no, things are starting to really thin. Only a couple of frags between Loki and second position right now of Droids.
Yeah, Droid, and I think it's a Loka that are actually really close. They're both tied. It's pretty much neck and neck right down to the distance, but Loki just kind of taking the lead a little bit here by 4. Nice little shot from Tyru coming up for double. No, gonna actually miss that shot, but Astralis... that's gonna throw me off guard. Astralis is gonna, be able to pick up another one. That's a triple.
What name?
Oh, I know. It really threw me off guard. I'm like, what is this, CS? I didn't know that. But either way, Benji, my prediction. Not quite there yet, but he'll get there. Astralis now with a full-on ace. Getting a little bit closer now. Actually taking over the second place. And that's actually 6 frags that are picked up here. So getting a little bit closer. And now Loki, 20. Only a few more away to go for this first deathmatch.
Australis, you have to say that with an Australian accent. I think you might have to. It's the only option you have for that one. 18-21, so things have leveled out for most of the lobby, actually. 17 frags plus for, I think, over 75% there. Australis popping on for another one as well, so things starting to get fine. Only 1 frag. Oh, that's going to be a tie for 21-21 for the top frags.
Yeah, this is big. This is where Australis is now kind of woken up a little bit, and Loki creeping it through with just 1, taps away. That's going to be a double, not the triple. Benji in the back of the head finds it. So it's getting really close, neck and neck now, 23-22. Going for a little bit more. Astralis actually does find him. Oh, this is big.
We're starting to see Loki's been taken off that top podium there, not for too long though. Got the 24th and 6 frags, and this is the home stretch for all the players. You start to see that one player that's got a couple of frags before they're going to get the game. You get hungry, you start to get a bit thirsty, and you want to start really chowing down.
Yeah, this is neck and neck, like we said. So 25 on the top for Loki, 24 for Astralis. Loki now switching things off. Not going to be able to have the Vandal, but instead switches to the Phantom. Wants to be on the Phantom Club instead, I guess. I don't know, but we'll have to see. Can it prevail? Can it do enough? I don't know, Kappa. I mean, Vandal Club all day, baby.
Oh, Vandal Club, the Phantom Club, maybe for Loki. He has been so low-key winning this game all game, and can he continue it through? It'd be earth-shattering. Earth-shattering was able to get that top frag. Little reminder though, the top 2 players of the overall scores, 1 point per frag over the 2 games, will be going through to the next round. So at this point, looking pretty damn tight, Les, for all these players.
Yeah, this is starting to, this is where deathmatch gets really interesting. I mean, you get everything, one person just kind of takes off, off to the races they go, and then really just kind of does a big shift. And now every single player pretty much getting neck and neck now. We have 3 or 4 players that are pretty much within 1 to 2 points of each other. So now it's getting right down to the nitty gritty and just kind of finding those little bit of openings with Astralis. Look at this now, taking the lead with a tie. A little bit hard to find this. This is a bit of a nightmare on spectating wise, but we got it. We're here. There's a couple. It's fine. We're good.
This is absolute chaos, isn't it? I think for the players and for us as the casters, hopefully it's not too chaotic for you as the spectators. Though, welcome to the TLP North American Best Aimer here. Hopefully we're going to see a Best Aimer very shortly, and we've got 1 player on 30 frags, 2 players on 30 frags. So not sure if this will continue beyond that.
Yeah, still a little bit more to go. We saw the 10 kill remaining pop up here, so
40.
A little bit more Loki now with 4. That's 4 in a row, so he hasn't actually fallen at all yet. So still pushing on through, and look at this. You can see this is where you start to get really hungry, and this is where you just start looking everywhere possible. Crazy Bad actually did take a little bit of damage there, not the frag. Crazy Bad getting this tap, and that's going to be a nice taparino. That's a quadra kill as well for Crazy Bad.
Something at the buffet, isn't it? You go back for that second, that third, that fourth plate. This is where you've got to get super, super hungry. Benji's hungry for a couple, gets the triple, gets the quad as well. So, starting to narrow down that lead. 32, 31, 31. This is ridiculous. This is so tight for the first matchup.
This is really close. I mean, the fact that we have 4 players that are already in the 30s and a couple other that are just on the cusp of it, they're really neck and neck here. And this is pretty much anybody's game at this moment. When you can start popping off and finding everybody in a row, that's when things start to get dangerous this late in the game.
Definitely do. Crazy Bad, not bad at all. Crazy good. It's a trick, it's a trap. Getting loads of headshots there. Not able to get that one. Is he Kami able to level things out? Really trying to catch up there, Kami. But so much time in deathmatch for anything to happen. We are going to see frag after frag after frag here. A mid, they're so busy right now.
1 minute remaining.
Loki can hear it. 1 minute left on the clock here, so highest amount of frags. That keeps you going. Loki with a nice little cheeky spam right through the corner of the wall. Tries to find another, gets the dink, takes a Loka. This is big now. 4 away. Can technically take this home, but is right neck and neck like we were talking about. And even the Jet. This is huge. This is right down to the absolute wire. Druid right behind Loki.
I'm shaking my head, man. I'm naturally shaking my head. 36, 35, 35. Top 2. So every player is fighting for that top 2 position here. And this could be absolutely anyone's. Loki, he has been a monster this entire game. And it's been undeniable. He's going to be in that top 2. 20 seconds left. Who's going to get it?
Oh man, Astralis somehow gets that frag. It looked like it was completely over for him. Down to 10 HP. Goes for a little bit of a swing. Benji finds it.
What is this?
It's right down to 37 each. 7 seconds remaining. Loki finds another one. Druid able to find another one as well. Loki misses. Oh, it's 38, 38. Neck and neck. It's going to be a tie for the first game. Nobody's going to be able to take the W, but we have 3 players that tied. 38.
What are the chances? The first round of group stages. We haven't even left the groups yet. And already, so many players that know, this is my game. I'm here to stay. Is that 3 players on 38 frags? 3?
Wow. Yeah, it absolutely was. I mean, there was 3 players. I believe that was Astralis, Druid, and as well as Loki. Yeah.
Yep. So, if I'm not mistaken, that's that will put us into the playoff format, will it not, Laz? Or is that just going to go towards the next stage of the groups?
Yeah, I think we're going to have to see, like, I mean, so we were just kind of figuring out the format a little bit as well. So, I mean, this is kind of where when you have a tiebreaker, what happens, what are the next steps? So we weren't really expecting, 3, let alone 1 player or 2 players, to tie. But if the fact that you had 3 in a row, that's crazy.
Nutty, man. Absolutely nutty. So we will get down to business for the next portion of it. But let's break it down for the first of all the maps we're going to have here for this crazy event from TLP. That was so frantic. I've never seen so many players that want the win on that one, Laz. They weren't stopping their momentum, their adrenaline the entire deathmatch long.
No, I mean, they really weren't. I mean, you could see, like, they were just completely full speed ahead, and everybody, I'm just reading the chat a little bit too, and a little bit of friendly banter, like, this is probably the most stressful thing ever. And, everybody's sweating hard because they're trying to get those frags and they're just freaking out. So, no, definitely a lot of pressure, especially when you're trying to individually perform. There's nothing else except for yourself.
No excuses, man. No finger that can be pointed apart from right at you. And a lot of the players there, though, I think every player on the entirety of that matchup were able to get a little bit of a streak, and that's the beauty of deathmatch, isn't it? You're going to get that fight, you're going to get a chance to pop off, so everyone, literally everyone at any point has that moment that could just trigger their adrenaline, and poof, off they go. So this one, as it goes to show, so many players tying at the top of it, this is going to be a really, really sick afternoon.
Yeah, it definitely will be. So, I mean, we're just going to wait things out a little bit here. Probably just run a really quick commercial break just so we can make sure we got the format correctly, because we just want to make sure with a 3-person tie, I mean, we just got to figure out what's the next step. Do they go another round? Do they not? But we are just going to take a super short break. Everybody, don't go away. We'll be back very, very shortly. We just want to get everything sorted out. we're here, we're back. And so, you know, a little bit of a communication issue from our part, I guess. But yeah, so it's 2 games. So with the 3-person tie, obviously you have to do a best of 2. So now things are going to be switched over a little bit here, so we can see coming into the game now, it is going to be Icebox like we were mentioning. Same players, obviously different agents, doesn't matter. But now we switch things over to a whole new landscape, a whole different ball game here, Kappa.
Everyone, if you're looking at player level, you're wondering, where's the abilities? You're not going to see any abilities here. So if you're all about abilities and that's not the reason you're playing Valorant, unfortunately, this might not be the game for you. But aim is crucial as it comes to the server. And if you've played E4 FPS, you know that is a staple. So no boosting on top of the objects in Icebox here. And Laz, talking of Icebox, man, if you aren't able to boost up, you've got no smokes available. There are so many wide angles, fam. Like, this is ridiculous. This is going to be up and down, left, right, center, 360, no scope aim. These players better be switched on.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like with a map like this, I mean, it completely changes. I mean, it's all high ground angles, you know, it's just different sorts of, you know, positioning now. I mean, it's just everything you want. I mean, it's pretty much not, you know, just an even playing field. It's pretty much all high grounds, big fights. So I'm going to kind of curious to see, but Carmi actually brings out an operator. I wasn't really sure about that, but maybe gonna prove me wrong here.
Maybe Carmi's gonna tell a different tale for the op on Icebox for deathmatch. I completely agree with you though. Using the op, you put yourself such a detriment unless you're landing every shot. You've got no opportunity to miss, no util to kind of back you the heck out of dodge here. And you can see Carmi just slug along with the op here and seeing what they can like. Good position though, and unfortunately, yeah, there's the rifle. It's going to take you out.
And, you know, Druid was one of the top 3 players. Already now tied again for first place, you know. Still early on, lots to go. And like we said, I mean, it is an 8-minute timer. And this is, you know, getting the closest to 40 possible. And I mean, like our last previous game, you know, hitting 38s. Could be quicker, could be slower. We don't know. We have no idea, Kappa.
We've absolutely no idea, and that is the beauty of getting to a cast event like this. Thank you so much for TLP Community Gaming for Sports putting this on for us. This is an absolute blast to be casting. I can tell you the same. The players, you can see from the chat, having a wicked time as well. Vandal, it's like the Vandal Club might be the VIP club to be in, lads.
Hey, listen, I said it before and I'll say it again. Vandal Club, baby. Like look at this. This is Vandals everywhere. I think I see one Guardian, one Operator. Oh, I think I saw. Did I see a Phantom? Oh, no, I didn't see a Phantom. So you know what? Vandals all day. Everybody recognizes.
Yeah, they do. Recognize, represent. Swagalicious, all these Vandals. And the Phantom, yeah, that really does beg the question. If you're a pure aimer, Vandal is going to be your best bet with that sort of one-tap accuracy, the damage, all in that delicious package there. The Phantom, it's let's check out for that sneak attack, or you've got util to use off of it. Maybe it's not one to use, and that could be a lesson to take away from the NA aimers worth here for TLP.
Things are actually getting a little bit, you know, faster pace. I mean, we already got a point where it's 14, and Astralis now, I think, now hitting the 10 mark. Low-key, a little bit behind, but not too far behind. So, lots of headshots galore, lots of Vandals being used here. Low-key misses the spray, does a little bit of a crab walk spray, doesn't work out. We'll keep a little bit of focus on him. He was going pretty hot and serving some good dishes earlier.
Really serving up the premium dish. That dish that's an exclusive part of the menu. Low-key, still just low-key. One tap, tap away. Having as much success as last game though, not in this case. Still plenty of time, and yeah, it's gonna happen just overnight like that. You look away, you look back at that scoreboard, and things have changed in deathmatch.
Yeah, and this is, you know, Carmi having the operator out does make it a little bit more difficult, like we were talking about an op, and, you know, in a deathmatch isn't typically about getting the highest amount of frags, but it's more about just warming up that aim, just kind of being that more solidified sniper on the team, and it's already looking pretty good. Carmi picking up a couple nice little frags here and there, just, you know, lurking in the back of attacker side spawn and really just holding the fort.
Oh, I'm liking this though. The use of that angle is really working out, and it gives that chance for recovery for Carmi as well. So that's four frags from there, lads.
Yeah, Carmi just kind of holding the ground, just The one Power Ranger just going to hold it. And look at this. This is just working miraculously. I mean, kind of just playing this position a little bit back and forth. So really just kind of isolating like anybody to come at him anyway. So this is a good position because you know it's either going to be on the right or straight ahead. But finally, Crazy Bad going to put that play to sleep. Glitch pop. Ooh, nice little cheeky one. I like that skin. I don't know about you.
You don't see that version of it as well with the upgrade. Definitely been spent in those Radiant points, getting all the skins you can. Elder Flame, man. It's all about the Elder Flame. I still don't have all the collection, but hopefully one day. Just got the operator. I think I sent you yesterday. Dude, it's so loud. It is so loud. It's gonna be hype point, but it's loud.
It's pretty loud, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the Glitch Pop series, I feel like this was the only rifle I kind of liked, or the only skin I liked. I feel like every set, I don't love all the skins with it. Actually, I think I like this and the Classic. I think those are my two favorite from that series, or that set.
Yeah, I was pretty choked to get the Classic. That Glitch Classic, the animation on it, the finish, the smoke that comes out of it, oh, it's super sick. Love a good shot from Crazy Bad there, just to fill in that gap and catch up with the pack. A lot of players on the +20s. We didn't see that too much last game, but for this one, it's looking like 3/4 lobby. They're all flying away with 20 frags plus.
Yeah, we're already hitting the double digits again, so like already mid double digits. 24 is being tied here from two of the players, which is going to be Aloka and also Druid. Druid, one of the players that was the top 3 from the first game. Aloka actually had a little bit of a slower game, but now looks like really picking up the numbers now.
Your chat knowing the Phantom Club is for the win there, and I just saw someone say top frag, the only player using a Phantom. Low-key still rocking that and floating around that top area, but there's a lot of competition this game, just like last game. 25, 26, 26, 27, man. 26, 26, it's increasing. Such a tight gap here, one frag.
Yeah, it's all split between just one frag, 1 to 2 frags, and this is, you know, we were kind of talking about that before. That's where things start to get really heat up, get a little bit different than before. And I mean, now this is 3 minutes left on the clock, getting a little bit closer, still need 11 to take this series home. I mean, this is a lot more pressure here for Druid too, because he was one of the players that like he needs to be pretty much come top 2 in this game.
Bro, there's no room for forgiveness. If you talk of blame of, oh man, like I need to do better, you've got no excuses, 0 excuses. You've got to rage yourself out of it. You talked of getting that tilt yourself in the right direction and tighten that gap between you and your opponent. 33 frags is going to be the lead right now, so that gap is start to be run away with a bit as we get through to that final stretch.
Yeah, Druid's playing a pretty good game so far, actually. Just, you know, playing a lot of tight angles, not being over aggressive. Kind of just, again, this is all about sound cues. So this is where you're just fishing all the noise as much as possible. 5 kills left, 2 minutes remaining. Definitely doable. This could potentially end the game. We didn't meet it the first time, but we'll have to see if, you know, Druid's got something a little bit up in store and just kind of being a cheeky devil. Gonna play in the kitchen, does find another one, and things have completely changed around here, Cuppa.
Finally getting taken out in kitchens, making a sandwich, grabbing a slice of pizza, grabbing all the snacks, and no one was able to take him out at all. 36 and 35, Druid. Got a bit of competition here. Jet is low-key on the tail.
Yeah, Loki now just wants to get as close as possible to Druid, because right now you need to be ahead of the players that were in the first round. So I mean, we had a 3-way tie. So Benji now being actually at 36. So before, Benji wasn't there before, but if Benji can get a high 30s, this could really, you know, turn things around here, depending on those top 3 that we saw in the first game.
Up to the back there. Not been the most effective in deathmatch. It has been pretty fun to see, though, the kind of plays that we have seen out of Kami. 38, 37, 36, 36. Still, anyone could get that top 2.
Yeah, now Aloka's actually tied Druid right for the lead, 38-38. 1 kill remaining here for Aloka. That's going to be neck and neck, and it will be Druid to actually win. And this is now for the marbles, and it's going to be Druid taking it 40-39. What a good game right down to the wire with only a few seconds remaining.
Left and a right, left and a right, left and a right once again. Action, man. It really does feel like you're up close and personal. There's no room to run away from those engagements. You're just forced in, bang after bang of bang, and clicking with those heads as we go. Man, what a second game.
Yeah, what a great little series. What a fun way to start things off. So like we said, we're just gonna wait for the players to get everything kind of sorted and get the top 2 and everything like that, and you know, we'll just wait for the the good old Anakin to give us his leadership on which we'd like to cast next. But yeah, that was a fun little cool series. I mean, it was cool to see that Druid actually, pop things off. But again, I mean, it's anyone's game, man, in a death match. Like, you could be starting off the worst way possible, like the worst. Like, you could be like 0-9, and then all of a sudden you're just popping heads. No tomorrow, man.
And you don't have that pressure of other people being like, man, you need to step it up. And we did talk of in the negative sense of, man, you can psych yourself out and you've only got yourself to blame. But in all seriousness, that gives you that little opportunity to mentally reset yourself every time you get fragged. Like, okay, I'm resetting, I've got a Vandal, I've got a Phantom, even an Op, and I'm back in the business. Not seen any pistol plays though. I'm shocked. Haven't seen maybe any Sheriff plays, any wizards with a Sheriff. We talk of Shikos, that Sheriff eco that you see in that default 5 versus 5 of Valorant for competitive, but I haven't seen any Sheriff plays. Hopefully, man. Hopefully see some Sheriff magicians as we get going.
It'd be kind of cool to see if like some of the players in the server like do like a gentleman's agreement, essentially, like pistols only. I mean, I don't know if that's one of the, I feel like, say we were talking about there's no rules. I feel like you can get away with something like that. I mean, that, that actually makes it even more challenging because in my opinion, like a pistol is way harder to aim with than it would be a rifle. I mean, you can definitely whiff with a rifle, obviously, but I think with that pistol, you get those crisp shots. But again, it could be a lot less frags than we normally see compared to like a rifle. So
it would be a bit of a slower pace. Hey, maybe for the sudden death, that's something we could suggest Anakin for. That's kind of that Shiko play. Still very early in its creation here for the TLP Top Aimer North America. And thank you so much, joining us. Give a little plug to the sponsors that have put together this $600 USD prize pool. Awesome to have that on a deathmatch scale, not something that every org is putting forth, but I really do hope to see a lot more of it. Aftermath Esports has been one of the sponsors. Thank you so much for giving us the goods and the ability to be here today.
Yeah, definitely want to give a big shout out, of course, to, Aftermath, Zero Marksman, TLP, Community Gaming. I mean, without you guys, we wouldn't be here. This is a fun little, just chill tournament, just, everybody having a good time, just a little bit of bragging rights, make a little bit of pocket money, like, never. I mean, I didn't want to do the tournament. I didn't want to get embarrassed, and get all, out zoomered out. So yeah, no, it's great to see, and a lot of familiar faces that we've seen a lot in the tier 2, tier 3 scene, in various amounts of tournaments. So really good to see these guys in this tournament as well.
Yeah, there's regulars from TGS Open Series. There's a lot of people that have been through that circuit many a time for the Vanguard Championship Series as well. And even to say some players that have gone towards that Challengers Tour qualifiers. So players from all sorts of tiers are here duking it out in this battle royale deathmatch arena, and there's nothing like an opponent fragging him out over and over again. It's just one player, man. It's just one player, but you've got to do your best to get yourself out of that situation and out click in whatever way you can. You mentioned it though. We talked about early game, Vandal Club, Phantom Club. The Vandal is the key. The majority of frags we've seen, if those players that got over 30 frags, they had a Vandal, man. They had a Vandal.
I'm just saying, listen, like, I think like NA, if I look at the statistics, I think it's really close. Like, I think I don't want to do the math, but it's really close. Like, it's not 50-50, but we're talking neck and neck here. So, I mean, again, it's all situational. It all depends on your style of how you play, or like what, when you're typically playing a competitive setting. I think that's also a big factor. Like, I know, when we talk about what the guns kind of resemble, like if you used to play Counter-Strike, Vandal seems more like the AK, and then talking about, the Phantom seems a bit more like that sprayish M4 kind of style. So it just depends on your personality or kind of your, style of play. I know for me, like if I spray, it's probably going to go nowhere. So I'm like, you know what? Vandal will do the taps and can make a cool little clip or two,
I'm the spray guy.
Oh, we've seen it. We've seen it. We've seen it. Don't worry, I've seen it.
Don't worry, bud. I've been a witness to it. He has, and the occasional moment I'm able to spray transfer. It can be pretty decent with the Phantom, but you're right on that situational basis. Yeah, if you've got anything in the form of aim, take the Vandal. Do yourself a favor and crack that skull immediately on that initial tap. The Phantom, the Spectre, man, yeah, there's definitely some room for error there, and you missed that spray, it's going to be GG.
It absolutely is. So we are just going to take a really short break. We just want to make sure we get everything a little bit sorted out for the next group. Make sure we capture everything in order, but don't go away. Grab a drink, grab a snack, hang out. Let us know, how my mustache looks. Let the jersey that he's wearing, whatever. It doesn't matter. But we will be back very shortly.
See you in a sec.
All right, we're back. We're here. We're hanging out. You're welcome, stream.
Whee.
TLP, NA's top aimer with community gaming. And this is your cue. But I'll go again. Zero marksman. And
What? What Zero Marksman?
community gaming, TLP,
Community
and Zero
Gaming
marksman.
and
Thank
TLP,
you.
Aftermath Esports. All of the gang are going to be here, and I don't mind taking the help from them because I've got lots to talk about, lads. There's a lot of talent in this semi-final, man. Like, so much talent. I'm going to get right into it, just so you know what to expect once we get into this DM server, because things will be flying fast, so take your notes now. We've got Unshaken from Zero Marksman, a really great aimer, 118.8 in ADR. You've got Toasty Unicorns, who's from Archons, also a 124.9 ADR, so big scores here. Okay, and last, but by no means least, my dude, Blahaj. We've got a Blahaj player in here, Dip from Blahaj. So that's just 3 players, man. Pure fire I'm expecting for this semi.
Yeah, so a lot of good players. So, and we were kind of just talking about the format before. So Druid obviously making it through on the first on the stream. So now in this as well, we see Aloka back in here in addition. Man, I'm excited. There is, yeah, you're pretty much nailed in the head. I mean, there's talk about talent. I mean, Unshaken. Man. I mean, we had the privilege of watching Unshaken a few times, you know, at the VSS, other tournaments, things like that. And Unshaken definitely, I mean, I think I was semi-right about my prediction, but man, Unshaken is probably one of my top picks right now. So Unshaken, don't let me down.
Unshaken, every time I see Unshaken, I just think Forsaken. I think Forsaken from CSGO.
Yeah, right? I know, I totally agree. I think that all the time. I'm like, man, it's not Forsaken, it's Unshaken, dude. I just can't do it. And I see Druid, and I keep thinking it's... Droid, every time. I'm like, it's not Droid, it's Druid. Like, it's totally different names, but I'm like, oh, dude, Droid's in here. That's sick. That's
Droid, what's up, man? What brings you to Valorant? It's over here, but no, it's gonna be Droid. All of the banter, man, it's gonna be worth it because all the aim you've just seen in that first group stage as well. Imagine that plus some. Getting a bit more serious now as we're starting to churn our way through this tournament. So off of this, just to give you a little PSA of what you can expect here, there's going to be 4 teams that go through from here to the finals. So let's see who it's going to be as we get things underway going into split.
Yeah, so things are going to be on split. So it is, you know, again, just 2 matches. So it is going to be, this is the semifinal of Group A. So, I mean, we talked about, you know, these are people that moved on before, now getting grouped up. Things are starting to ramp up nicely. Warm up. Split, you know, a bigger map, a lot more distance. It's kind of like Icebox, you know, lots of different ground to cover, so we're gonna have to see what's gonna happen. But I mean, we see Toasty Unicorns in here as well. I mean, whew, boy, this is gonna be spice. I mean, this looks like a final, but it's not even the final.
Yeah, it does feel like a final. I've completely got the vibes that feel like a final. Start off Unshaken. You're seeing that crispy aim, man, delivered instantly with the headshot. I'm expecting to see nothing but headshots from it. Oh, there's another one. Oh boy, here we go.
Already ramping up. Bonifacio? Oh man, I'm just gonna say Bonnie because I don't want to get it wrong. But either way, Bonnie. Yeah, well, you know, we're the kings of butchering names. Why not? We'll just keep it going a little bit longer. But
full send it.
Full send it. Just gonna send it with the bad names. But Dip actually gonna be able to dip Unshaken down. Dip able to pick up another now. So we're gonna switch things over. We want a little bit of dip action, and he's gonna dip right to the grave.
Dip, get up, man. Get yourself up. The self-res is initiated here, Dip. Chiming in with the Phantom. He's part of the Phantom Cult. There you go, brother. Represent.
This is looking good. Dip already making some big plays. Again, this is the 40, but there's still 8 minutes left on the timer. And with a map like this, it definitely makes things a little bit more tough and lots of ground to cover. And Dip just holding it, gets the spam. Not able to. If you had a Vandal, you probably would have got that. But either way...
Oh, snap.
Toasty Unicorns. Coming a little bit back here, Toasty Unicorns. You're going to grab my attention also here. I'm digging it. I'm liking it. You know, this spectating thing on Deathmatch is a nightmare. But yeah, we're here.
Bro, you're nailing it, and you're keeping up with the action. That's what counts here. Props to lads. And my name's Frag. You're joining us here for TLP's top aimer of North America. Do not be fooled. This is nothing EU. This is all pure NA, baby. Starting off with Toasty Unicorns. Dominating on Heaven. Got that on lock. And no util. No flashes here, Sky. Can't be annoying with those flashes. You better have that crosshair locked and loaded. Got eyes on one. Definitely does. So, getting to that 11. Can we get some more?
5 for 11. Toasty Unicorns also dip right there. Nice little shot from Unshaken. We talked about some damage he can do. Look at that Vandal. Oof. Elder Flame. Oof. What did the Zoomers say now? Jeesh. Yeesh. Jeesh.
Sheesh.
Sheesh.
There you go. Nailed it. 10 out of 10. We are not boomers. Wrong.
Wrong.
But
I'm young.
Young. We're young at spirit, and that's what counts in the Valorant world. Headshot after headshot for Unshaken. He is not disappointed to deliver as KJ, but as you know, or as you may not know, there's no utility. It's all pure clicking of heads. 12, 11, 11, 11. 3 players on 11. Things are starting to tighten up here, and we are just hitting double figures. Just.
Yeah, Unshaken's really just pulling up some big numbers. A little bit behind, but I mean, we're only talking about a couple frags, so really Unshaken just needs to, you know, make some things happen. Look at that little flick of the wrist, one tap. That is so dirty. That's exactly what I'm talking about. This guy, he's done some great things. Maybe he's gonna do some more. Show us why he's the top aimer.
Dude, he wants to be the TLP top aimer today. You can see it. He is made for this kind of competition. 30 HP. He's striding around like he's got 110.
Full HP, gonna go against the top fragger Dip, but Dip's gonna be able to take him down, so he's got the Phantom. Let's see how bad the Phantom is versus the Vandal. Already making me eat my own words a little bit. Okay, with the triple. I like it. Ballsy move.
What's next for him? Nothing at all for that Phantom. That's with the Vandal. Gonna trump you on that quick fire pre-aim situation there. Dip, he's persistent though. He's not giving up on the Phantom, lads. He doesn't care about the flak.
Well, there we go. Vandal.
Mistake, I guess.
Vandal. Ooh, a Loco with a nice little run and gun. Toasty Unicorns. Pulling up some big numbers as well. Everybody's getting pretty close here. I mean, we're talking about, 17 or 18, 17, 16, and you got 2 players that are tied for 16. So again, this is pretty neck and neck, and everybody, pressure is starting to build up here a little bit.
Pressure is starting to build up, and have a look at all these skins here. What players prefer with the kind of Vandals these. You've got a selection of everything. It's like a rainbow of skins here, lads. Every collection you can think of, I've seen here.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, I love the Prime Vandal. Like, I think with the sound cue, I think it's probably honestly one of my top 3 favorite skins. I know people might not agree with that. I mean, chat, let me know what you think, but I definitely think clean, sounds good, looks good. Yeah, it's crisp.
You know what? Mistakes were made. I didn't want to spend the money at the time, and like the holder spent it on almost every other collection. Dip, flying up that rope, not a problem. Pristine aim, getting the headshot. Yeah, I missed out on Prime, man. Mistakes were made, and pulled the trigger. You never know when it's going to come back in circulation.
Hopefully you can, check out the market. Like to see what everybody else thinks for their favorite skins. I mean, I would say this. I do like the Elder Flame. I think that's pretty cool. We got a vanilla skin. Bonnie, just running and gunning. Gets a nice little health pack, but Loco with a nice little one-tap running spray. Toasty Unicorns right behind.
It's actually something I've wondered, like with this no skin or no skin versus a skin, does it make a difference if you roll with no Valor or no Vandal skin? Are you going to get more frags? Is it less of a distraction? Who knows? But all these players, they are attached at the hip to their util, util available to their Vandals. A Prime one though, it definitely does have that good ring with the sound.
I don't know, man. I feel like, that's a good question, because I would definitely say, like, whenever I have a skin, I feel like I always feel like a little bit better, and I think I'm just more excited to see the skin. That's a really weird mindset, but I always definitely think when I play with skins, I just frag out a little bit better. I don't know what it is.
Skins equals wins, man. Skins equals wins. Classic racing.
That's true. That's true. Oof. Man, shaking. Making me shake my boots a little bit. Dude, nice taps. Look at that control. Like, even the fact that he can flick his wrist like that and almost land that shot onto Nikon, I mean, that's huge. Right now, he's a few behind. He's 4 behind here from Toasty Unicorns, and a lot of frags back and forth. We're going to switch things over eventually when I find it one day. Toasty Unicorns leading the charts here, 29. Now reaching the 10 kill mark. Still got 2 minutes left, though, Kappa.
So this is that home stretch. You're talking of seeing the light, seeing that checker flag. Yeah, all players starting to see that. Even if you're at the bottom of the scoreboard, you know that it's time to put on that game face. Toasty Unicorns does not want to give up. Getting more and more frags, pulling away frag after frag here, and 3 frags defies that lead right now.
Yeah, Toasty Unicorn's really popping off, having a really good game so far, picking up 34, a bit overexposed though. That's a tough position to be in, and that's when you're kind of hearing noise now, and Unshaken picking up a double now, tying things up on the 30. So 6 frags remaining here for Toasty Unicorns, but Unshaken, he's going to be able to shake the boots here a little bit here for Toasty Unicorns, and Unshaken 3 away, still in second place, gets another one with a great little transfer on the tap to spray. Oh man, Unshaken. There's the beast. The beast is out.
I think Unshaken's taken this one, lads. The persistence and the resilience to keep going late in the game as well. Really switched on the cortisol and got that adrenaline pumping through Unshaken's vein. Pre-firing everything left, right, and center. Unshaken's ready for the gunfight.
Yeah, Unshaken a little bit by himself right now, so switching things over. 1 frag away from tying things up. Aloka finds 1, able to get the second. And now Unshaken has put himself in the lead by 1 with 5 kills remaining. Dip going to be able to finally take him down after a huge amount of frags in a row. And it's neck and neck here, Toasty Unicorns and also Unshaken with a minute left here, Kappa.
Don't forget Dip though. Dip it in just at that last minute there. So many close frags. This is ridiculous. 1 3K away to get yourself back into the game. That is the name of it. Toasty, though, wants to close this.
Oh, Toasty, 1 away here. 40 seconds remaining. You got Unshaken 4 away. Needs to make sure that Toasty can't find anybody else at all. He now has heard that Aloka, but gets the shot into Nycom. Takes it with 6 seconds remaining. 40 to 36. Unshaken did secure second place for this first map. Oh, boy.
Woof. We promised a top-notch game, and it's going to be signed, sealed, and delivered right to you through the courtesy of your home here. And hopefully you're enjoying this show so far. Welcome to TLP's Top Aimer NA, and we are well into things here. Started earlier on this afternoon, and those players, 64 players in gross, have gone through the groups. We're into the semi-finals right now. Map number 1, been and done. Toasty Unicorns taking the top there, and it is going to be Unshaken. The 2 players, coincidentally enough, we're speaking about the most, taking the top 2 slots there. Dip, though. Dip was a really big performer in that matchup as well.
Yeah, Dip was definitely, near the top there, so a lot of good statistics that came up, and Dip was, one of those players from earlier on that actually did make some, big impact. Kind of came out of, I don't want to say out of nowhere, but, had that slow start and really just kind of came right out. And now, even just then it was a bit slow in this map, but then really pulled things back, picking up a lot of triples, a lot of quads. But I mean, Toasty and both Unshaken really just making things interesting. And, we're just looking at the chat a little bit here from these guys too. And I mean, they're talking a little bit about the jiggle peaks and the one taps. And I mean, man, Unshaken gets you. I feel like he's like the one tap master, I swear.
Tap, tap, tap under the leg, tag behind the shoulder, just making it look super easy. And that is what it's about. That bit of stylish, that finesse there is in Valorant. And it's not spoken about too often, but this is where you can perfect the finesse. And getting finessed by someone, you're talking of finesse, you don't know what that means, a one-tap. Something that just has that kind of, the chef's kiss, if you will. And that is what every server-wide player should be delivering if they want a shot at the $600 prize pool. It goes 3 ways from all those top 3 players. So who is going to get themselves into that opportunity? Time shall tell very, very shortly. Got a question for you, lads, on the topic of deathmatch. Sure. Like, as a player, do you think you go full send right away as soon as you step foot in the server for a matchup in deathmatch, or slow and steady wins the race? What do you think is the best approach? Is there a right approach? I don't think there's a wrong approach, but I'm just curious what you think.
This is funny. It's a good little bit of a question, because I mean, right now when we talk about deathmatch, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, I'm a broken record, but when you're typically doing DM, you're not doing it for the stats. You're not doing it, I want to win every single deathmatch. You're doing it so that you can warm up the aim, you feel good, you do what you need to do to get comfortable. But this is a little bit different. So this is a race. You're essentially racing and going as hard on the frags as much as possible. So you're pretty much, just going as aggressive as much as possible than you would normally, I think, in a deathmatch. So I would say typically in a normal DM setting, like I always like to just start off a bit more slow, kind of make sure I'm just getting warmed up. I mean, and then eventually you just start to really get a good feeling. You get a bunch of multi-frags, and that's where things start really cooking. And I mean, in this case, these guys, they have to start off heavy so that they can get that lead and get all the points that they need to keep moving on in the tournament.
And wicked point and wicked analysis of that as well. And you bring up a super valid point. If you are given that full punch. You're trying to punch through your opponent and click all those one taps as possible, as fast as possible. You're going to start to burn off your adrenaline. You're going to start to fall off maybe a bit sooner than you would in a game. Because think about it, in a game, you're using a bit of util. Sure, it takes a bit of mental capacity, a bit of focus to do that. But constantly aiming over and over for that 8-minute calls, followed by another 8-minute. Again, for the longer you're in this tournament, the longer you're going to get like worn down, and that's something that we're going to see. Well, it'll be a bit different from your regular tournament. There's a lot less respite for the players, and Ascent, lots of long angles. Actually, not too many places to hide either on the map of Ascent.
No, definitely not. So, I mean, things switching over to Ascent like we were talking about. So, you know, the typical best of one map in any series that you play in, any tournament you play in. Agent selection doesn't matter, of course. We're just gets to see what everybody lands with. Toasty Unicorn somehow gets Sky again. I don't know how that's even possible. Actually, there's no way. How do you get the same agent twice? I mean, Unshaken's a Killjoy again? Is that even possible? Maybe in the same server? That's pretty cool. But either way, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm glad to see there's only 2 of the same agent, though, so a little less room for confusion. I know when Haven having 2 jets was, well, hey, which jet is who?
Well, you know, apparently I just read from in custom deathmatch you get to choose your agent, so that's a good thing to learn. Thank you for that. I did not know that.
The more you know with TLP here. And this is TLP's top aim in North America 2021. Hopefully you enjoyed the show so far. Cuppa Frag, Jordan, the lovely Laz here. And Laz, we have got an absolute killer game ahead of us here for the second map of the semi-final.
Quick peeks now.
But yeah, we were talking about the top players. I mean, Unshaken and both Toasty Unicorns going head in head there a little bit. You know, starting things off. Toasty, he's definitely cooking a little bit in that toaster. Everybody seemed to be picking up the frags right away, and Shaken. Nothing yet, but it's still early on. Bonnie comes for the big flank, but Dip, he's just going to dip on out, take him out. Nice easy one, finds another. And we got 8 minutes and 30 seconds still on that clock, still fresh. Lots of time here for the players to get up to 40. It doesn't matter if you don't reach the end mark. It's all about as many frags as possible. So these guys, they need to be a little bit careful on their aggression, but they need to be aggressive at the same time.
That's it, isn't it? You've got to have that engine rev, but not over of it. Just keep it at a good little level, good RPM, and get it going. Then Unshaken looking good for the start, and we did see that sick performance before, but every player in this server is a contender here, lads. I don't really think there's one player like, oh, they're definitely taking this. Anyone could take this in the semi-final, and that is why they have arrived here. Nickcom stepping up to the plate here. Amex have seen a bit of Amex in the circuit as well, and spraying that Vandal like no tomorrow, trying to desperately hit those shots there.
Give a big shout out to Anakin. Thank you so much for the subscription, my man. Supporting the You Welcome stream. Couldn't do it without you.
Welcome.
But Aftermath, I believe this is Aftermath, and this is Amex that is starting to actually, you know, be right in second place right now with 7 frags. Just one behind from taking the lead. Kind of, you know, and this is an interesting tactic. So, you know, just kind of holding a certain area of the map. Like, we're noticing a lot of mid-top control. So this is actually good because, I mean, you can now peek on Cat like this. You can fight for Cat. You can fight for mid. You can fight for, you know, Gelato. There's a lot of different angles you can play. So there's a good opportunity on spawn points that you might be able to get some frags. But also a lot of areas that you can get flanked from.
So many areas you can get flanked from, and there's no use hiding in the corner. You've got to force, you've got to press for those frags, and oh, what a shot from Nickcom. Oh, one tap.
Yeah, one tap galore. So let's just bring over things to Dip here. 11-4 right now. Nickcom 11-7. It doesn't matter about the deaths. It all matters about how many kills you can get on the scoreboard. 6 minutes still remaining. Lots of time for these players to find each other. And again, this goes to 40. I know I'm probably seem like I'm repeating myself, but just in case anybody's just tuning in, free-for-all deathmatch Dip. Now playing the same bit of angle that we saw Amex was doing before.
Yeah, holding it super well there. Chimed in for that second and said, you know what, Phantom wasn't working, but the Vandal sure is. Headshot, another headshot, almost lined up. The Toasty Unicorn goes in for that denial. Though, so much room at courtyard and mid, and you brought up a very good point there with regards to the way you're going to play a deathmatch and the mentality you have to have. You've got to keep going. You really have to go. You talk about it pre-game, and this is the point where you're going to start to feel a little bit of fall off. All of these players, they've been grinding, they've been clicking so many heads. Where's the next player? The next player's right in front here for Ben. Good start.
Now getting a lot of mid control on Shaken. A tougher spot to be in. Actually getting taken out. Aloka finds him. Nice shot. Toasty Unicorns. A little bit slower of a game than we saw in map number 1. 9 frags compared to the 17 right now. So a little bit of a slower start. We were talking about that. You know, playing a little bit more paced. But anything can happen. I mean, that's the beauty of a deathmatch. You can essentially, you know, lose, you know, 6 duels in a row, and then all of a sudden you're in 10 in a row for some reason. You're just completely popping off. And right now, this, I believe, is actually 3 frags, not even just double, but I believe this is 3 in a row so far from Mr. Toasty Unicorns.
I keep saying toasty. It makes me think of Pop-Tarts, man.
I thought you were going to say beans and toast or something.
That'd be very English. I had beans and toast the other day, actually. Beans and toast with cheese melted on top. The best. And talking of that, the fixings, it's going to be the 2 Jets taking the server by storm right now. It's going to be Dip. It's going to be Bonnie taking this by storm. And this is fantastic stuff here. No abilities, though, so that can't be blamed for why they're on the top. A good work at mid here with a Vandal, dude.
Yeah, and look at this. This is what I was kind of talking about. You just kind of walk up. You can just pick up frag after frag after frag. And this is now where things, you know, start to get a little bit more warmed up. Everybody's getting a better feel of the map. Getting their spots they want to play in. You know, things are cooking, things are firing, but no. Will be Dip finally gonna taking down. Dip actually gets another. So this is getting pretty close here. I mean, both Jets at 26-23. You got Nakam right behind with 22. I mean, this is looking pretty good. Bonnie having a really good game so far here, Kappa.
Yeah, Bonnie was born in the centre, apparently. Born and bred, for that matter. A bit of a quieter game from Unshaken, and that is what we were just referring to. And if you're wondering, it's not just time. There is so much to consider in Deathmatch, and you are your only teammate. One person to rely on, and 3 minutes 50 for all of these players to take this one on. This is such a crazy game, and you're starting to see some fatigue settle in now. Slowing down those plays, and not so many pop-offs that we're seeing. Looking at grabs the double.
Ooh. Really nice. Unshaken just kind of clears this B site by himself. Nobody really close on by. It is going to be Amex just on the other side, but this is where Unshaken just absolutely devours everybody. Tapping him away, taking him down one by one. And now 29-27. We still have Bonnie in the lead by 2. Dip right behind, and Bonnie actually only 11 away from taking this home. Now making it 10. So we need to see Unshaken and Toasty, they both need to have a big difference from each other, because they had a really close game before, and look at this, they're right neck and neck right now. They're tied.
Oh, man. There was some smack talk in chat as well. I'm having fun, Toasty says, and nothing but fun, and going for the win as well. Unshaken needs to get above if there's any chance of getting that point differential. Reminder as well. Oh, that's a good play though, isn't it?
Oh, look at this trigger discipline. Like, just again, not, you know, just going for an immediate spray, just goes for a nice little cool, calm, and collected tap. Arenos, definitely not a silver player, you can tell. Take notes, Kappa. But no, you know, now things are changing.
Easy.
It's really close. I mean, look at this. I mean, both these players that were on top before, again, they're neck and neck, 25-25. And then you have Bonnie and Dip. They're already hitting 30 clubs. And even Nakam right behind now, meeting that mark at 30. 2 minutes remaining.
Who is going to be that radiant eye to shine out from the rest? We did talk of some Blahage players in this server. You've got some players from left, right, and center of all portions of the Valorant scene. 33 frags of both the Jets there. Dip
5 kills
still
remaining.
lurking at that top realm.
This
Shaken.
is so
I don't
close.
think Unshaken's tapping out yet, though.
I don't think so. This is, you know, Unshaken. I feel like when pressure starts to build up, that's where, you know, Unshaken really starts to cooking a lot with gas. Gets the one, a nice little easy one. Gets the tabs. Gets the double. Now he needs to be careful on this angle, but Toasty, again, going to be able to find him. That's a double now in middle. 35-34 is Toasty now able to come alive with triple. Looking to get a quadra if possible. Health pack not going to be retrieved, so doesn't want to risk it, the sound cue, but instead will pick up the easy frag against his foe Unshaken. But Bonnie, read like a book, reads him alive.
Unshaken really is probably shaking in his boots. The fact of Toasty's on the approach. Toasty's tailing. Just the one frag between them. And talking of a story, that would be a story, wouldn't it? What a 180. Great work at Courtyard. So many frags happening.
Right down neck and neck, 38-37. Dip's just spraying, looking Unshaken, but he's not able to make it work. Dip now so close, but Toasty able to put up another one. Dip only needs 1 frag left. He's got the Vandal, and he's going to get the spray, and he's going to be able to get the 40 with time remaining. What a game. And now I'm going to have to see how this goes because, like we said, we saw Unshaken and also Toasty where they were on top, but they were really close here.
Yeah, they were really, really close indeed. 1 point differential, man. 1 point. Toasty was chasing that all game. So unfortunate to not get above there. So close.
Yeah, 32 for Toasty. You have 33 from Shaken. Dip actually having 40. So that really does put a bit of a difference inside the scoring. So what a good game. And I mean, that's the thing. That's where we talk about deathmatch, certain maps. I mean, I know for me, like if I was playing in deathmatching, I do not play well on Icebox. Ascent, probably the same thing. But I mean, certain maps, certain people just kind of, really start to show their true colors a little bit better and their strengths compared to others. So either way, I mean, now we're going to be moving things further into the tournament while we wait for the Anakin and the admins to kind of sort things out here.
I believe so for now, just to confirm for those at home and for me, of course, because the format may be slightly different from what you've seen before. So it's the top 4 teams that are going to go through from here, if I'm not mistaken, to the grand finale. Is that correct, fella?
That's right, yeah. So right now this was a semifinal game, so I believe we should be moving things over. I believe what should be going into the grand finals. I think we just need to wait for a few groups and everything to get sorted out. This is where we kind of get the nitty-gritty, the math stuff. This is where Anakin's going to have to put his math abilities to the fullest amount here. So I'm definitely glad I'm not on that. I'm glad I'm not on that account right now.
Yeah, mate. Keep us behind the mic. We'll just keep bantering away, and the rest can be dealt with. Please and thank you. If you just joined us, welcome to the TLP Top Aimer NA 2021. $600 USD is on the line. $300 for the first place. It's going to be $200 USD for that second, and third, it will be $100. Aftermath Esports, Community Gaming, and who else have we got to give great thanks for this tournament here, lads?
Definitely want to give a big shout out, of course, to TLP again, Zero Marksman, Aftermath Esports, Community Gaming. I'm just going to do the whole thing. Why not? I mean, we're here. We're hanging out. We're having a good time. This is good. But no, definitely a big shout out. And thank you so much for having us and allowing us just to have some fun and chill and have a pretty cool casual stream. And hopefully everybody is enjoying it. Definitely appreciate the follows. Appreciate the interaction as well. And I mean, you guys can help us with a little bit of banter. I mean, like I said, we were talking about Vandals versus Phantoms. I'm just saying Vandals are looking pretty good right now. I think Dip was the one player that was Phantom only. So just saying.
He's just saying. Individual representing the cause of Phantom. But let's be real, man. The Vandals, they're packing the superior punch right now. When it comes to those one-on-ones, yeah, if you don't land that Phantom shot, maybe you hit the high chest, you hit the neck. GG, man, you're getting one tap by a Vandal. And you do not have time to be messing around with those kind of situations in the deathmatch server, and zero room for forgiveness in a one-on-one, and that is probably the most difficult part of Valorant. So to break this down, go full analytics on it as well, yeah, this is probably, I would say, even more difficult than a 5 versus 5, man, because it's all on your shoulders, and I sure hope that you're ready to carry if you're in the server right now.
Yeah, it definitely becomes a little bit more about just individual base, and I mean that's where some players, they are just heavy aimers, and this is, a cakewalk for them. Whereas some of the other players, this is a good test for them and a good way for just a good DM and a good time with some friends. But this is a good test for individual skill, and we're definitely seeing it here. A lot of big names, especially in the tier 2, tier 3 scene, and a lot of upcoming players. So really exciting to see them. It makes sense to see them advancing themselves, but also some other names we haven't seen before also making some big statements here today too.
Oh man, I'm seeing what's lined up for this grand final. Just a few names that are starting to be dropped in the hat here. There is going to be a TLP player that should be going through to the final, which is super exciting as well. I did mention TLP just this weekend at the TGS Open Series. Got through to the final and weren't able to close that one in that BO3. But there are going to be those aimers at it time and time again. And I think it says a lot about a player, lads, if they're going to be taking part in the actual 5 versus 5, dipping in for some deathmatch, doing everything they possibly can to better themselves with skill. And what better place than with a deathmatch server, man? That's the bread and butter of FPS, is it not?
It really is. I mean, there's a lot of ways that people, kind of get prepared for games and ways for match preparation. But I mean, deathmatch is definitely one of them. I mean, it just helps you kind of get loose. You want to call it that, like in any traditional sport. So it is good to see a lot of players, and anybody can pretty much take anybody out except at this kind of point, at this kind of level, right? Like we were joking about, if we whopped in there, it wouldn't be fun. It would just be, smashing. It would just, I wouldn't want to know. I don't think I'd ever want to be there. I don't think I could get paid enough money to just get stomped like that. So I do, Anakin, we can do a boomer one or something. Maybe I'd be down. You know what? We can talk. We'll talk about that after, but you know what? We'll let the young guns take this and just show us, why they're at the level they're at right now in the scene.
The boomer wrecking ball. Yeah, that would be the wrecking ball slapping me right against the wall there. Not fun. Or would it be fun? Perhaps chuck in the chat. You want to see some boomers get absolutely shreked? Well, maybe this is opportunity for further day. Also in the chat, let us know what are you liking from what you're seeing so far in this deathmatch. And I think from my perspective here on the analyst desk, I'm really, really enjoying the momentum, the speed of these players here. And if you want to talk about how a player gets better, and I've said about the bread and butter being deathmatch, yeah, you're going to see players now that they're just getting to these tournaments, and this could be the beginning of a very, very snazzy and cool career for them to come later in Valorant. Valorant, man, it's still such a young game. I just saw on Twitter the other day the beta keys were just released. I think it was just over a year ago, man.
Yeah.
So it's only a year Valorant's been happening. It feels like a lot longer. We've been doing so much casting of the game. It feels like years, but it's only been a year that the game's been about.
Yeah, it really has, and so much development, lots of players here and there, and just so many new things, many new agents. So yeah, it's just been an incredible big year. And of course, thanks everybody for following us and supporting us too. I mean, a little bit about us is, of course, just young casters, just trying to, do our thing and hanging out in the community, but definitely appreciate it. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. But in saying that, you know what? We're going to take a very short break, grab whatever you need, get ready for a fully charged grand final. We're just going to wait for a few things to get commenced here. Take a break, grab a snack, grab a drink, whatever you need. We'll be back. Don't go away.
See you soon.
All right. We're back. We're here. Grand Finals, TLP, Top Aimer, North America, Cup of Frag. Man, I can't even get my pointing right. Cup of Frag Laz here for the deathmatch tournament. Cuppa, who do we got to thank before we get things started off in her?
Oh, man, there's a lot of people to thank for this one, and I say a lot of people as in there's a lot of good energy going forward. Thank you so much. TLP's Top Aim in North America 2021 is going to be sponsored by a couple of nice friends from Aftermath Esports, from Community Gaming, and we've got one more sponsor. Let's go on, spill the beans. Go on.
Zero Marksman, Aftermath Esports, TLP Community Gaming. Thank you again so much for having us here. We are going to get things started off, ready to go. The map is going to be Bind, and it's all down to this baby.
Fire in the hole. No showstoppers here, though. Only with the term of the aimers in the server. Recap, Grand Finals, just tuning in. There's no util, there's no abilities. It's just about your crosshair placement and all those one-taps, baby. All the players in the server as well right now, they've been playing past a couple of hours. They've earned their spot in the Grand Final. 300 for the first place. Second, it's going to be 200 bones. And for that third, it will be $100. But newsflash, there's more players than just 3 in the server, lads.
Quite a few players, and this is a lot of the players that have made it through. So a couple new names we've seen a lot here so far on the stream. You know, in Shaken, you got Nikon, Toasty Unicorns, and of course Dip. But now we have some new players that have joined. So I'm very curious to see how things are going to go. And Bind, we haven't had a Bind yet, so this is very close quarters. A lot of differences here, and this is going to make things even more spicy for us.
A new player has entered the arena. I think, I can't remember what game it was now. Was it Doom? Was it, I can't remember what it was. But either way, there is a couple of new players. And off of that note, you've been playing DM with a couple of other chaps, and you're like, you know what? I understand the peaks they're making. I've seen them before, but not for all of them. Getting it kicked off here. Chaotic TLP player cracking this game open. This is going to be a wicked final, man.
So still going to be 2 maps for the grand final. But we're going to see Toasty Unicorns as the Odin out, so a little bit of a different change in tactic. Feeling it real hard here. Chaotic. Staying true to the name, a little chaotic on the spray and a little bit of control. But you know what? That's okay. You know, we're hanging out. It's a good time on creative. You know, we're going to go watch on creative because right now, getting creative with those frags, Cuppa.
Yeah, super creative. I'm loving seeing it, Odin. Switch up that pace, man. Give us something spicy. Give us some plays, some frag reels. Uncreative, hopefully able to find some motivation. He's going to find motivation that wall bang. Lovely. Good stuff. And that's going to keep Reyna right on top. There's 6 frags we are going to see right now for the lobby leader.
I just, you know, we're gonna watch Toasty for a sec. You know, Toasty's feeling it.
Still Odining, man.
I don't know what the tactic is with the Odin. I'm gonna be honest, but I mean, I just want to see it. Is it a train wreck? Is it a thing of beauty? I have no idea. That's where, you know, the mystery is.
Is Odin the meta right now? Or maybe Toasty's been holding out for the grand final to bring this one into the main frame. Player coming through halls. Spraying with the Odin. Okay, all right.
You know, this might be a good tip for you, just picking up some extra frags, you know, when we're playing in matchmaking. Rank.
Odin?
Yeah, maybe, man. You know, maybe it's the way to go.
You could have recommended this before, man. I've been wondering I've been going wrong. I thought the Stinger was all the meta these days.
Oof. No, Stinger. Stinger's out of the equation now.
Stinger is irrelevant, and I'd be irrelevant in this server. We're starting off stream, and Wicked stay on stream too. I'd be getting sprayed down with his own left, right, and center. One tap before I even spawn. Still spraying through with the Odin. Not able to get the top frag, but this is definitely a bit more of a tense game than we've seen from the group stage, from the semi-finals. Players there, they're taking it nice and slow.
Yeah, a little bit more slow now. You got 3 players that actually are tagged for the 10. Chaotic now going to beat that 11. So back to Toasty going with a real weapon, we'll call it. A Phantom. Semi-real, but either way.
Real gun.
It's a good mix on this one, especially like a map like Bind. We definitely would, I definitely would expect to see a bit of variety more, not just straight Vandals or straight Phantoms. It's definitely kind of a hit and miss, and this is where everybody's preferences really start to kick in.
Yeah, you're just going to start to see those unique playstyles. They have to flourish in a grand final. It doesn't matter what kind of game mode you're playing. You've got to be confident. Confidence is key, especially with those 1 versus 1s. Confidence come from Unshaken in this position. Unshaken have a bit of a better start than last game. It's a little quieter than we've seen so far. Close to Unicorns, though. Switches off the Odin. Okay, I'm done BMing. I'm done getting people triggered. I'm back to the Phantom Vandal combo.
That's a really good point. I mean, Toasty Unicorn could have actually used that as more of a tactic and just, trying to get people a little bit tilted, that he's, disrespecting a little bit with the Odin, and then kind of gets that mentality, we'll say a little, shaken up, but now this is where he kind of brings things out back to reality. And even Unshaken have a little bit of a slow start, like we said before, almost gets that shot on the Dip, but Dip's going to run away with that one. This is a Serenity player, so really cool to see it as well. Runs out of ammo, a little bit unfortunate, and still pretty neck and neck here. Nothing really, nobody really taking the lead.
Yeah, there isn't really anything big to write home of. It's constant frags, and you expect to see that in DM. And it's the grand final, so yeah, everyone are pretty matched in their pace and just trying to catch someone out. It's all just Reggie Scram, just hanging out here, seeing what's available. There is going to be a frag up for grabs. That hallway peak, though. It's going to be too fast.
Ooh, Unshaken. All right, we're going back to Unshaken. He's feeling it now. Double coming in. Closest player is going to be the Reyna. On top, and he's actually going to be able to find him, so gets the head.
Goodness.
He's cleared this B site. There's nobody else near him now. He's got the Phoenix that's coming up, and I believe that's Ecom. Gets the head of Uncreative, and this is exactly what I was talking about. This is why you don't sleep on Unshaken, boy. Look at that. He's got even a triple, and he's starting to cooking with gas here.
So you got A site or B site once. You got B site again. People are coming back for thirds. Not able to hold it for the 3rd time down, but you said it bang on, mate. You really can't sleep on him at all. He's a bit quiet for that tiny portion, but he's got it up his sleeve. He's got tricks available. He's definitely been the best Vandal with the Elder Flame. I think that's uncontested. I need to take definitely a couple of lessons. I find it a bit easier with the Reaver, but when it comes to that Elder Flame, man, it takes so much finesse.
Reyna killed.
Definitely, this is one of my favorite skins too. So Unshaken, I feel like him and I are pretty much the same person. So I get it, I guess I'm just as good as him. I get it now. I feel it. Oh boy, look at that!
What is he doing?
The full
what
control.
What is he doing? Get the Lysol wipe. He's dirty.
Absolutely filthy. And able to get another tap. Might be able to get this. No, Chaotic. Does a little bit of a nice chew. Dip going back and forth. Jet on jet. This is getting a lot closer now. We're at 29, so I'm definitely anticipating we should be able to hit that 40 mark before the end of the timer. But, I mean, there is still 3 minutes and 28 seconds left, so you never know at this point.
You definitely don't know. And just to recap, Dip, that blockage player, a common gamer to be at the Vanguard Championship Series, and has won that title, I do believe, a couple of times. Is that going to be extended to that individual performance here? Dip doubling down, double dipping, if you will, triple dipping.
Yeah, you can't double dip. That's gross.
Dude, come on. You can't even think of other people here. Have some consideration. No consideration at all. The 4K going for the 5th. The 8th denied. Still, though, holding on desperately to that top frag.
Oh, it's going to be actually Scrounger that actually does find him. That's a good peek, and actually picking up a double now. Top trying to get this tap, or the tap away on the high ground. Does get it. Bit of a risky spot, but Nico's going to be actually able to find it, so... Now Uncreative again, pushing in through mid. So 22, quite a bit behind. So, over 10 from the leader. Now this is going to be Dip still leading the charge with 35 with only a couple more to go. We got to watch him. He's the one close spawn by, but you got 31s right behind.
Ridiculous, man. There is 2 maps to this grand finale. So just to recap, it doesn't matter. One player or two players are going to get that top slot here, but who is going to continue things going to map number 2? The momentum, the adrenaline is overflowing from all these players here. The Phantom coming through. Haven't seen too much success with the Phantom on bind here. Supposed to be in Vandal action.
Call me an analyst.
You're welcome.
There, look at and now it happens. Toasty has to get the Phantom out. Of course he does.
Prove us wrong.
That's
Prove us
rude.
wrong. 3 frags, man. Dip, he's starting to get that lead. He's extending it, but unshaken. He wants a slice of the pie there. Talking of that, Ray stepping up as well. So this is looking awfully tight.
38, 35 is the next closest one, so we can see Scrounge right behind, but still needs to get a couple more. 4 away from taking this home. 2 frags here for Dip, but he's actually going to get completely taken down. And now 38-36, and this is now where Unshaken's getting a little bit closer. But Dip, 1 frag away. He's close on by. One of these players is coming on through. That's going to be the Reina. Top has to win this exchange, but no. Nikom going to be able to take him out, so he's by himself for now. But Scrounge, he needs to be careful. He's making all the noise. This could be an easy one, but Dip going to be able to get it on map number 1. 40-37. Dip dipping his way into victory for map number 1.
From the VCS and dipping into the TLP top NA aimer, if you will. Map number 1 over and done. And I don't want to say a clear one because it really wasn't. You can see from the scoreboard there, 4 players all game long, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing. You're talking of meta setting and trend setting. The Odin play, man. I don't think that was the wrong play from Toasty. I really enjoyed that.
No, I thought it was a nice little take on it. Again, I think he was trying to go for like the mental game. I think so. I mean, maybe pick up a frag or two, get a little bit cheeky, see if people get a little rattled, the disrespect, and then that's where he just starts coming in gun blazing. But it actually backfires, so it doesn't work out for him. But instead, Dip, I mean, pretty consistent. We were talking about before, a little bit slow in the beginning, but really just starting to pick things up now. Really just on a big wave, and I mean, that's a big wave. Like, Dip, I think, has pretty much been near the top every single time now.
Yeah, no, definitely consistency is key, and coming from the Balhaj roster, you would expect some kind of consistency in that kind of caliber of play. Most certainly one of the top tier teams for TLP, Balhaj. You're naming a couple of that handful that are sort of the echelon of Valorant right now, and just clambering and climbing into that tier 1 with the second map underway. Yeah, I'm really excited. And for the players that we have in the grand finals, let's give a little recap. You've got Top H coming from Just Friends. You've got Archeons. You're going to have Blahaj. You've got TLP. You've got Relentless Esports. I'm naming names that maybe you've not heard before, and maybe you have. If you haven't, well, these are tier 2 teams that have been around the circuit, and they are getting their face well known all over the place. I'm really loving the sight of those players in the deathmatch server and proving themselves, not just for their team, but for their individual credibility as well. And you said it, Laz, bragging rights, man. It's all about the bragging rights right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we talked, I think I saw a few people asking in the chat, what's the prize pool? What's the whole thing? Yeah. And you know what? I even saw a comment about, walking in DM, a little bit cringe, but I definitely agree with Carmi that, I mean, you're playing for money. This is some good pocket cash for you. So you know what? I'd be going full try mode. I'd be full sweat right now if I wanted to go for this.
You'd be shifting the whole game. Are you going to be that guy that's like the crab walk? Why not, right?
Why not?
If you got to do what you got to do.
You just got to do what you got to do. You're going to win it. So for anybody that's not aware, so it is, the $600 prize pool. So it goes to 300, 200, and then of course 100 for third place. So a nice distribution again. But that's all for you. You don't even have to split it between your teammates. $300. Hey, buy a couple skins. Buy Laz a Vandal skin, whatever you want. I don't know. Like, it's cool. Like, you can do whatever you want. Maybe Christmas is early this year.
What one are you looking for? What do you need to add to your collection? What's the one that you're like, man, I wish I got this Vandal? What one is it?
I think for weapons, I think I really want either the Glitch Pop Vandal or I would say the Glitch Pop Knife. I think I really like that dagger. I don't like the axe very much, but I definitely would say I'd go for the first one, version 1, whatever that was, dagger or whatever that thing was called. Yeah,
I think it was the dagger. That Vandal, man. It might just be me, and I think I'm giving away my secrets here, but I struggle so much to hit shots with that Glitch Pop Vandal, man. It's so distracting with all the stuff going on, the effects. No, you can turn those off, but it's a lot going on with that Vandal.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I feel like, there's so many skins and they always make new skins. So it's like, you never know. Do you have a favorite skin? Is there like one that, is the most, like the top of the list, the creme of the creme?
I'm going to say the Reaver, just because the effect. I like the subtleties of it. You said about the Prime. The Prime and the Reaver kind of share that, where they've got sick effects on it. You know what to expect, but it's not too flashy and in your face. And that's something with the glitch pop. You're going to be looking at the Elder Flame. Any of those other series, they're really cool. But when it comes to focusing, it could be really off-putting, as fun as it is with a dragon roaring in your ear. But out of all these players, who's going to be roaring at the end of this game here? That's my question to you, lads. Who's your money on for this one?
This is tough. I've been saying a lot about Unshaken. I don't want to, I'm still going to go for him. Dip is definitely making me a little bit hesitant, but where are you going with this? Let's get the predictions in the chat and also cover a couple right now. You got to lock it in.
It's Dip, man. It's Dip. He's taking this one home. He's had an exceeding performance all tournament long and expecting so much more. Unshaken and Dip, talking of those two big dogs, chiming in for the first one. Going to see Chaotic representing TLP in for another as well. Toasty, so many big names, but only 3 players can go home with that prize pool.
Now we're back on Haven. We saw this before. This was in the very early stages here at the DM tournament. Toasty Unicorn, I believe, was doing some pretty decent numbers. And already look at this full spray. Almost doesn't get it, but will get it. A little bit of a gift for him. And now Toasty Unicorn back inside of attacker spawn, finds another frag. But Unshaken doing Unshaken things. Nice little one tap coming in. Already calling the GGs early on.
Oh no. Oh no, don't want to have that too early on. Top coming through with a couple of frags as well. If you've not seen Top around the circuit, definitely experienced player. Great movement as well. Coming through with that Vandal. Precision is key and trying to take out that barrier window. Tough spot though.
Yeah, and Toasty Unicorns has played this spot a lot. We're just trying to get to Toasty Unicorn right now. This is, again, this is where you kind of isolate a certain spot of the map. And this is kind of like a greasy little setup on a DM aspect of things. Like, you're not just running around the map. You're actually just playing in like a high traffic area, which does make sense. You're trying to pick up numbers. You're not just necessarily trying to, get your aim polished. This is all about numbers and a race.
And that is the twist on this entire tournament here that TLP are putting on, where, yeah, it isn't just about getting the frags. Speed. You have to be the fastest one to get there. And that race puts so much more pressure on those frags. It's not just clicking heads, it's clicking frags as quick as you possibly can.
Oops.
Yeah, I mean, Toasty Unicorn starting things off pretty hot already. 13. Unshaken right behind, again with 11. So these players have now reached the double digits. Dip just a little bit, behind. And this is kind of what Dip did before. This is where, we noticed Dip was a little bit slow at the start, but really just starts to get those legs moving. Legs meaning the aim. And Toasty Unicorn's just an absolute menace, just playing this entire side of mid-window. And then pretty much just goes back there every single time and time again.
Back to what the true and tested, right? If you've got that angle, 16 frags, that is something that tells you, hey, Toasty's got the glitch, the cheat in the matrix. Grabbing 2 frags though, straight away from the mid window, holding off on B side. But those spikes we planted here, just the frags we picked up in Toasty. Toasty's switched on. Toasty's really switched on right now.
Yeah, this is looking like good toast, not that burnt toast that we talk about. And I mean, right now, 19, 15 from Unshaken. We haven't really seen a lot of Unshaken yet. Definitely making some good shots, but Toph's actually going to be able to get the better and actually making a double. Dip finally takes him down. A little bit of frags back and forth. Unshaken, nice little taparino.
Oh, another. One taps all Unshaken's made of, I swear, man. He's had so many one taps, I've lost count from the number of frags he's had here.
And that's the difference between, having the Vandal versus the Phantom, in my opinion. I feel like, with the Phantom, you can kind of get away a little bit more with those bursts, where I feel like with a Vandal, the taps and just having the little small bursts, like two bursts and everything like that, definitely makes a big difference. But more than that, that's when you start to really notice the aim kind of just starts going all over the place.
And you heard it first here from Nice as well. And yeah, the analytics is very, very true, man. That Vandal, you're at such a disadvantage in the Phantom as you missed just the one bullet. Maybe if you're lurking, it's a bit more room for forgiveness. But in this kind of setting, yeah, a Vandal's been prime. And that speaks volume for the frags we've seen today. Pretty much non-stop Vandals. Dip has been has been working the Phantom pretty well, but even Dip is choosing to opt in for the Vandal here.
Yeah, there's only one player, I think, right now in the server that actually is just using the Phantom, which I believe is just on creative. So a lot of Vandals, so everybody's just kind of tapping away. Maybe dancing or something like that, but it's getting pretty close. I mean, 27, Toasty Unicorn having a really good performance this game.
My goodness, man. This is the biggest distance we've seen. And Sprint's got a performance out in a grand final, bro. That says it all. That says how hungry Toasty is for this and just wants to make a name for themselves in the first rendition of this tournament. And that'd be massive to say, hey, I won the first TLP top 8 in North America. That was me. Talking of that, 10 frags, 11 frags away from the next contender. Toasty's run away, sprinting.
Yeah, this is pretty much going to be, I think, the Toasty Unicorn cam here. I mean, you got 10 frags ahead of everybody else, 9 away from taking this home. Unshaken, though. Oh, man, this guy's a murderer. Just a run drive-by. That's some gangsta stuff right there. And look at this, the Toasty Unicorn. Maybe that pressure's building up a little bit. I'm not sure. Getting a little bit shaky on the aim.
Talking of shaky, Unshaken has started to close the gap. So 27 to 32. This is anyone's game. And you see this in deathmatch all too often, but the stakes are high right now. $600 in the line. Toasty getting a wicked shot there from middle as well. Things are starting to heat up. Toasty locking down the window. Talking those tight angles and just waiting for the players to feed in. Gonna get another 5 frags.
This is getting close. 5 frags to take this whole thing home, and I believe that would be enough for him. I mean, we'd have to look at the score from what he had before. But this is where, you know, every frag is absolutely going to count to the T. 35-28 is the next closest one, which I believe is Unshaken. Yes, it is going to be. It will be chaotic right behind with 24. So, like I said, anything can happen. But when you're at 5 away, this is where we're going to see Toasty Unicorn be a little bit more passive and really just trying to use sound cues to win these duels.
Is that the play, though? Have you got to go for that hyper-aggression? Toasty's performance this whole tournament long has been from hyper-aggression, hunting those frags. Ooh, what we missing?
Oh, Dip. A lot. Toasty Unicorn, I feel like, has just been a victim of, like, running shots. And look at this, Unshaken. Look at this little pre-fire Unshaken. Oh. Man, that's gross.
Oh, and he lands it.
Oh, absolutely disgusting. And he gets the better of him. Now he's only 3 away from tying up. Unshaken.
Oh, no.
We're bringing the player cam to you, boy.
This would be horrific. This would be horrific for Toasty. So much hard work all game long, and it comes Unshaken for that sweep. The reverse sweep in the back of the legs, not seeing the approach. The banana peel American style thrown in. Scrouge, though, chiming in for another. Toasty manages to get a frag. Oh, lads, this is ridiculous.
This is absolutely neck and neck, right down to the wire. 37-35, a minute 49 left remaining. He's 1 frag away from tying things up, and he gets Dip as well. So now we have ourselves a tie game. Both players, and now Toasty's able to get the 1 frag lead. Oh my goodness, it's coming right down to this. If Unshaken can beat him, this might be just enough for him to take things away. This is absolutely disgusting. Toasty, we haven't seen him pick up that many frags lately. He's trying to be so cautious and so cool. And he gets actually taken down. So again, we're at a tie game.
The best forward defense is attack. That's something you've got to remember at this point of the game. 2 frags only for 2 players here. And there's a clear victor of one of those 2. Who's it going to be? There's so much stalemate here. Oh no, Unshaken perishing there as well.
He's close by too, so I believe that can be Dip just on the other side. Dip actually going to lose that. Another bullet. 1 frag each. 58 seconds remaining. Toasty, he's going to need to find 1 person. As well as Unshaken. He's on the full hunt. Oh, they're so close, but Unshaken, he's going to be able to do the sweep and take it. 40-39. My goodness, Unshaken.
Sheesh. That was a game. That is by far the best game we've had so far, and do not be disappointed because you know it was a grand final performance. Look at the stats there. Top 2 players, just an inch ahead. Toasty Unicorn just missing out for the dub there, but Toasty working so hard all game. I think he was at 27 and 14 at one point. He was a good 10-15 frags away from anyone. Unshaken's comeback there, unparalleled, man. The best comeback we've had all tournament.
Yeah, that was one of the best comebacks in terms of Well, just breaking all my stuff on my desk. Sorry. So one of the best comebacks we've seen. I mean, like we said, I was being a little bit, critiquing, like, yeah, I'm shaking a little bit slow. We're not seeing anything. And then he's like, hey, don't worry.
I'm here.
I'm just getting the motor started. It's all good. It's all good.
Slow but steady wins the race, and Unshaken proving so. If you come out the gates hot, or slow and steady opting in for the win on that one after all. Off of all of that, lads, are we going to take a few minutes here just to have a peek at the scoreboard and try and get everything figured out, give a result for everyone?
Yeah, so just for anybody waiting, we are just going to calculate the math, kind of figure everything out. So we're just going to take a very, very short break. We'll come back. We'll kind of just announce who won it and the placements and everything like that. And then we'll be closing things off. But don't go away. We will be back momentarily.
See you in a sec.
Okay, we're back. We're here. Trade like pros. Deathmatch tournament. Laz, Cup of Frag. You've heard it all here before. You guys want to know who won? What's going on? Why did we take so long? Well, math's hard. That's all I'm going to say.
Drum roll. We could get a drum roll going though.
Well, I mean, if you want,
What we're gonna have for the winners.
You want to do the drum roll? You think you're up for it? You think you can bring the heat here? And the winner is Unshaken.
There he is.
My man Unshaken. Going to be taking it first place for $300, which will be going into his pocket directly. So congratulations, Unshaken. Definitely call me an analyst because I predicted it from day one. I said it here. I knew he was going to bring it. Brought the heat. Unshaken. Send me a DM later. We'll talk. Either way, and then now just going into even actually just the other distribution as well. So as you can see, $300 going to be going for Unshaken. Switching things over to $200 going in second place for Dip. And of course, $100 for, last but not least, Kappa. Dun, 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 dun.
For Scrounge. It's going to be Scrounge as well. So all names that, you might not have heard in the circuit, but you damn well have now. Lots of fraggers, lots of players proving themselves, and Valorant, like the roots of it, it is going to be the FPS, aiming, talent, your crosshair placement is crucial, and those three are going to show that they are the best of the best for this tournament. But do not be alarmed if you miss this one. I'm sure there's going to be plenty more coming from TLP, but it is going to be a wrap from the TLP North America Aimers tournament for this day, and we've got so many people to thank. Laz, who's the sponsors that we're going to have to give that massive pat on the back and thanks to?
Yeah, so big kudos, of course, to Trade Like Pros, Community Gaming, Aftermath Esports, and Zero Marksman. Really do appreciate the opportunity for us to get to this cast, like a really casual, fun deathmatch, little fun tournament, just, a way for players to interact and have some more community involvement. So big shout out, of course, to Anakin and the crew for just organizing this fun quick little tournament. Definitely think it's something we should be seeing in the future, but let us know in the comments as well as our socials.
Yeah, get us on the social at Cup of Frag for me, at Laz_TV for the fella next to me as well. All the socials plugged underneath that. You can see, I guess it'd be over there, wouldn't it? Or it'd be that one and that one. There we go. Sorted. So if you do want to give us a follow, please do. Lots of Valorant amongst other FPS coming your way, and hopefully some more sick deathmatch tournaments. I'm not gonna lie, Laz, this is the most fun I have ever had casting Valorant. It was so chill, and I think this unboxes its potential really, really cool cast for the future as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like I definitely think we had a really cool opportunity where we just got to see a lot of great, players in the scene, got to see them with some crispy aim and everything like that. So I hope we get to do this again sometime in the future. But like I said, hopefully everybody did enjoy the show. Make sure to throw us a follow. We love interacting with the community. Hope to see you guys more in the future as well. But I believe that's everything we have here today. It was a quick, nice, easy tournament. And again, thanks so much to all our sponsors here for making this happen here today. Kappa, anything last you want to say before we sign off today?
Yes, indeed. Thanks for all in the chat. Thanks for interacting. Did see a lot of people. A lot of players are actually calling Unshaken. They were following on the bandwagon of your call-outs, as they definitely supported that. Congratulations to you, Unshaken. Dipper's Scrounge, well done as well. Zero Marksman, Community Gaming, and of course, TLP. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And until next time, it's Cup of Frag. We're Laz, and we are out. Cheers, guys.